everyone, and welcome back. Ready for another deep dive?
Always.
Okay, so today we're tackling something that could seriously change how we, subscribe to just about everything.
Ooh, this sounds interesting.
Yeah, it's pretty big, actually.
Okay, I'm all ears.
All right, well, you know that feeling when you're trying to cancel a subscription, right?
Oh, yeah, like trying to solve a puzzle.
Exactly, it's like a maze.
Totally.
Well, the FTC, they're trying to get rid of that whole mess with this new click-to-cancel rule.
Click to cancel.
Click to cancel.
Okay, that sounds pretty straightforward.
Yeah, in theory it is, right? I mean, just click and you're done.
Exactly.
But, well, it's not that simple.
Oh.
Not at all.
What is that?
Well, cable companies, advertisers, even newspapers, they're all pushing back hard against this.
Whoa, so everyone's kind of freaking out about this.
Yeah, pretty much. And for different reasons, too.
Like what?
Well, you got some saying it's a free speech violation.
Seriously?
Yeah, others are saying it'll stifle innovation. And then there's the whole argument that, like, 1 billion subscriptions are at stake here.
A billion. That's wild. I mean, it is kind of wild how this seemingly basic rule is causing such an uproar.
Right.
It's like this whole fight between, consumer rights and businesses trying to do their thing, especially in this digital world we live in.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so break it down for me. What does this click to cancel rule actually, do?
Well, basically, the FTC, they want canceling subscriptions to be as easy as signing up for them.
Makes sense.
So no more, like, digging through pages of terms and conditions, no more waiting on hold forever.
Like being trapped in customer service purgatory. Oh, I've been there.
We've all been there.
Definitely.
And they also want to get rid of those tricky negative option things, where they just keep charging you unless you specifically tell them to stop.
Ugh. Yeah, those are the worst.
I know, right? But here's the thing, the rule hasn't even gone into effect yet.
What? So it's not even a thing yet, and people are already up in arms.
Yeah, it's not supposed to roll out for another 6 months.
Oh, that's why these lawsuits are so interesting, I guess. They're trying to, kill it before it even starts.
Exactly, they're getting ahead of it.
Wow. And who's leading this charge?
Well, no surprise, it's the cable companies.
Ah, figures.
The NCTA, which represents, the big guys like Comcast and Charter, they're claiming that if canceling is too easy, customers might not really grasp what they're giving up,
Oh, so they're worried people will just click to cancel without thinking it through.
Yeah, basically they're saying people need a chance to hear about better options before they ditch their service.
I see.
What's interesting is this whole customer misunderstanding argument. It really highlights how companies are, trying to hold on to their subscribers.
Yeah, totally. It's getting more and more competitive out there, especially with all the streaming services popping up.
Exactly. Cable companies are feeling the heat, and they're getting kind of desperate to keep people from jumping ship.
Because let's be real, if canceling is super easy, they're going to lose a lot of money.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And I think that fear is definitely fueling some of their arguments.
It wouldn't be the first time.
But then it gets even weirder.
Weirder how?
So the NCTA is also claiming that the rules disclosure requirements, the parts that are supposed to make things super clear for us.
Right.
They're saying that those are violating their free speech rights.
Whoa, hold on. Free speech. How's that even connected?
I know. It seems like a stretch, right?
It does make you wonder, is this a legit First Amendment issue or just some legal tactic?
Right.
I mean, free speech is super important, but it doesn't mean companies can just be, shady or misleading with their marketing.
Yeah. And the courts, they're going to have to decide if these disclosure things are actually a burden or just a reasonable way to protect people.
That's a tough one. But there's another thing that's throwing me off. What's the deal with newspapers being involved in this?
Yeah, right.
I mean, how are they connected to negative option features?
It does seem a little counterintuitive.
Okay, help me out here.
So a lot of newspapers and other media outlets, they use subscription models with automatic renewals, right?
Right.
And those models often involve these partnerships with advertising networks that use data to find potential subscribers.
Okay, so data's involved.
Exactly. And the worry is that all these new consent and disclosure requirements, they could mess with those partnerships.
So it'll be harder to get new subscribers.
Yeah, and even harder to keep the ones they have.
That's a big deal, especially for an industry that's already struggling.
Huge deal. And hold on, because it gets even more crowded in this ring.
More.
It's not just cable and news. We've got advertising groups joining the party, too.
No way.
They've filed their own lawsuits against the FTC.
Seriously.
Yeah, and their arguments are similar, saying the rule is too broad, it burdens businesses, stifles innovation, and they say there's just not enough evidence to justify such a huge change.
So it's like a whole team of different players all united against this rule.
Right, it's like this big alliance.
And they all have a stake in the whole subscription game. They see this rule as a threat to how they do business.
Absolutely, and it really shows you that these negative option things, they're way more widespread than we realize.
Yeah, much more common than people think.
And this rule, it could have a ripple effect across tons of industries.
It's bigger than just canceling a gym membership.
Way bigger.
We're talking about how businesses operate online, like on a fundamental level.
And whether the FTC can even step in and change the rules.
It's like a power struggle, almost, between the government, businesses, and us, the consumers.
Yeah, and it all started with just wanting to get rid of that gym membership we never use.
It's crazy how these things snowball, right?
Mm.
And it's all happening while big tech is under, a microscope.
Oh, yeah, totally. Like, remember all those hearings about data privacy and those fights over app store fees?
Exactly. It's like this whole click to cancel thing fits right into that.
Yeah, it's like the government's trying to, pull back the reins on these huge tech companies.
Right. It's a power play for sure.
It could be a huge test of how far the FTC can really go when it comes to online businesses.
Oh, yeah, totally.
The outcome could set a precedent for other stuff, too, like data collection, online ads, maybe even AI.
Whoa. That's a lot riding on this.
Yeah, and we're not just talking about ditching subscriptions here. It's bigger than that.
Way bigger.
It's like a shift in power between us, the consumers, businesses, and the government in this whole digital age.
It's pretty mind-blowing. And to think it all started with, not wanting to pay for that gym we never go to.
Right. It's crazy. And speaking of those unused gym memberships, the FTC is saying this rule could save people a ton of money.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
They say Americans spend billions of dollars every year on those zombie subscriptions.
Zombie subscriptions.
The services they don't even use.
Oh, those, yeah. We've all been there.
Totally. You sign up for a free trial, forget about it, and bam, you're hit with a charge.
Or you try to cancel, and it's like Mission Impossible.
Right. It's like you need a secret decoder ring to figure it out.
I'm pretty sure I've pulled my hair out trying to cancel things before.
So from a consumer's point of view, this rule sounds pretty good, right?
Yeah, definitely.
But the companies fighting it, they're saying that making it too easy to cancel could backfire.
Backfire how?
Well, they're worried about, a wave of impulsive cancellations.
Oh, so people might just cancel without really thinking it through.
Exactly, and that could hurt businesses that rely on subscriptions.
Yeah, that makes sense.
They're also worried about all the new regulations, saying it'll be a headache for them.
More
Right.
paperwork, more hassle.
And that could lead to higher prices for everyone.
So they're passing the cost on to us.
Yeah, potentially.
Okay.
So we've got these two sides, right? The FTC trying to empower consumers.
Right.
And the industry groups pushing back, saying it's about free speech and innovation.
But also protecting their bottom line.
Exactly. And it's up to the courts to decide who's right.
It'll be interesting to see how they handle it,
Yeah.
Like how much power does the FTC actually have?
And how do they balance the needs of consumers and businesses?
Right, because this could go all the way to the Supreme Court.
Oh, wow. So it could be a landmark decision, huh?
Totally, and it wouldn't just be about subscriptions anymore.
It would impact a lot of things.
So what should we be keeping an eye on as this plays out?
Yeah, what should we be watching for?
Well, pay attention to what's being said in court.
Like the arguments they're making.
Yeah, how are the judges reacting to these free speech claims? Are they buying the consumer protection argument?
And what about what the FTC and those industry groups are saying publicly?
Right, what's their strategy? Are they trying to get the public on their side?
And is anyone willing to compromise? Or are they going to fight this to the bitter end?
Because even if the FTC wins in court, it's not over.
Right, it's just the beginning.
How are they going to make this rule work in real life? Will it really be that simple to cancel?
Or will companies find loopholes?
Exactly. And will this actually change how we all act as consumers?
Like, will we be more careful about hitting that subscribe button?
Or will we just keep unsubscribing without a second thought?
These are all questions that are going to unfold in the next few months, maybe years.
This isn't just a legal battle. It's a shift in how we all think about these digital services.
It feels like a turning point.
Definitely. Consumers want more control, businesses are trying to keep up, and the government's caught in the middle.
Trying to find that balance, it's a tough spot to be in. It feels like we're seeing this everywhere, right? Like all these debates about data privacy and content moderation and the power of these big tech companies.
Yeah, it's all connected, This click to cancel thing, it's just one piece of this massive puzzle.
And we're still figuring out the rules of the game as we go.
Exactly. It's like we're building the plane while we're flying it.
So for you, dear listener, what does this all mean? Well, first off, your voice matters, like a lot.
Oh, big time.
Pay attention to these issues, Stay informed and let your elected officials know what you think.
Right. Make your voice heard.
Because your choices, your voice, they can actually shape the future of the internet.
It's true. And don't forget to be a smart consumer, too, Before you hit that subscribe button, read the fine print.
Always read the fine print. Good advice.
And keep track of what you're subscribed to.
Yeah, those subscriptions can really sneak up on you.
And if you're not using something, cancel it. Don't be afraid to hit that cancel button.
Don't give them your money if you're not using it, right?
Exactly. Your actions can make a difference, like a real impact.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into the whole click-to-cancel world, here's a final thought to ponder.
Ooh, I like a good thought to ponder.
What if this is just the beginning? What if this whole debate is a sign that things are changing?
How do you mean?
Like, what if the power is shifting
Hmm.
and consumers are finally starting to take back control?
That's an interesting thought.
It's something to consider as we navigate this crazy world of subscriptions and online services. Thanks for joining us for another deep dive,
Always a pleasure.
and we'll catch you next time.